You are nothing but a useless burden now, David. I should have left you at the hospital. That is what my wife Amanda said to me last Tuesday when I asked her to help me reach something from the top shelf. 3 days later, she served me divorce papers demanding half of everything, including the house I literally built with my own hands before my accident. I am David, 34M, and 18 months ago I was a construction engineer making good money, building custom homes around Boston. I had everything: successful career, beautiful wife Amanda, 29F, amazing daughter Emma, 8F, and a house I had designed and built myself on 2 acres of land I saved for years to buy. Then, the 15th of March, 2023 changed everything. I was supervising a crane operation when a cable snapped. The counterweight came down and crushed both my legs. After 6 surgeries and 8 months of physical therapy, I can walk short distances with crutches, but I will never be the same. No more climbing scaffolding. No more 12-hour days on job sites. I am on permanent disability now. Amanda was supportive at first. She visited me every day in the hospital, brought Emma to see me, told me we would get through this together. She said she loved me for who I was inside, not what I could do with my body. I believed her. But as the months went on, I started noticing changes, little comments about money being tight, about how I was different now, about how hard it was for her to handle everything alone. She started going out with friends more often, sometimes not coming home until 2 a.m. When I questioned it, she would say she needed space to process what had happened to our family. The breaking point came 6 weeks ago. I was having a rough day, phantom pain in my legs, struggling to get dressed, feeling useless. I asked Amanda if she could help me with some basic tasks around the house, stuff I used to handle easily. That is when she exploded. I cannot do this anymore, David. Do you know what it is like being married to someone who cannot even take out the garbage? You used to be this strong, capable man, and now you are just this. I have to do everything. Work, take care of Emma, manage the house, and take care of you like you are another child. Amanda, I am trying. The physical therapist says I am making progress. Progress, David. You can barely walk to the mailbox. I am 29 years old. I cannot spend the rest of my life pushing your wheelchair. I don't even use a wheelchair regularly, just for long distances. But the way she said it, like I was already dead to her, cut deeper than any physical pain I had experienced. She would make dinner for herself and Emma, leaving me to figure out my own meals. She moved into the guest bedroom temporarily. Emma kept asking why Mommy and Daddy weren't talking anymore. Then last Tuesday happened. I was trying to make breakfast and couldn't reach the cereal on the top shelf. Simple request. Could she help me get it down? That is when she said those words that are burned into my memory. You are nothing but a useless burden now, David. I should have left you at the hospital. Emma was sitting right there at the kitchen table. My 8-year-old daughter heard her mother call her father a useless burden. Friday afternoon, a process server knocked on my door. Divorce papers. Amanda is demanding half of everything we own, including the house. The house I designed myself, where I installed every piece of plumbing, every electrical outlet, every custom cabinet. The house I built on land I bought with money I saved, working 60-hour weeks for 5 years before we even got married. According to the papers, she is also requesting primary custody of Emma and spousal support, because she sacrificed her career to support the household during my medical crisis. She worked part-time at a marketing firm before my accident, and still works there now. Her lawyer is James Morrison, one of the most expensive divorce attorneys in Boston. I cannot afford a lawyer like that on disability, hell. I can barely afford any lawyer, the worst part. Yesterday, I found out she has been seeing Christopher Walsh, a big-shot real estate developer who has been trying to buy my land for years to put in a shopping center. I always refused to sell. Now, suddenly, Amanda wants to divorce me and split the property. Maybe I am being paranoid, but the timing seems pretty convenient. I am sitting in the house I built, looking at legal papers demanding I give up half of everything I worked my life to create, and I don't know what to do. I have no money for a decent lawyer, no family support. My brother and I haven't spoken in 3 years after a fight, and apparently a wife who sees me as nothing but damaged goods to be discarded. Emma is the only thing keeping me sane right now. When she hugs me and says, "I love you, Daddy," I remember that I am still worth something to someone. But honestly, I am scared I am going to lose everything. My daughter, my home, everything I built in my life before the accident took my legs, and apparently my worth as a human being. Has anyone dealt with something like this? How do you fight when you are already down and someone's trying to kick you while you are there? Update 1. I cannot believe the response to my post. Thank you to everyone who reached out with advice and support. I have been reading every comment, and some of you have given me hope when I didn't think I had any left. Quick update on what has happened since Friday. It has been a week from hell, but also somehow a week that has shown me what I need to fight for. First, the immediate crisis. Amanda's lawyer filed a motion for temporary custody and temporary spousal support. The hearing is next Wednesday. If they win, Emma goes with Amanda, and I have to start paying her money I don't have while fighting for my own house. Amanda has been coaching Emma, trying to get her to say she wants to live with Mommy instead of Daddy. I know because Emma came to me crying yesterday. "Daddy, Mommy says I have to tell the judge that you cannot take care of me anymore because of your legs. But that is not true. You make me breakfast and help me with homework and we watch movies together. I don't understand why I have to say you cannot take care of me." I held my 8-year-old daughter while she cried, and something inside me snapped. Not in anger, but in determination. Amanda can call me useless. She can try to take my house, but she will not manipulate my child into betraying me. "Emma," I told her, "you never have to lie for anyone, not even Mommy. When people ask you questions, you just tell the truth about what you really think and feel." "Okay, but Mommy said if I don't say it, we will not have anywhere nice to live." That is when I realized Amanda has been scaring Emma, making her think that if I keep the house, somehow, they will be homeless. An 8-year-old shouldn't have to worry about where she will live because her parents are getting divorced. I have spent the last week trying to find legal help, called 17 lawyers. 12 will not take payment plans. 3 want retainers I cannot afford. 2 told me straight up that given Massachusetts law and my disability status, I am probably going to lose at least half the house and pay significant alimony. The house I built with my own hands, where every room holds memories of the life I thought I was creating. But here is where things get interesting. Yesterday, I was going through old paperwork looking for anything that might help my case when I found the original deed and construction permits. Everything. The land purchase, the building permits, the construction loan. It is all in my name only. We got married in 2019, 2 years after I bought the land. And while I was still building, the house was finished and fully paid off before our wedding. When we got married, I added Amanda to the deed because I loved her and wanted her to feel like it was our home together. But the original ownership, all the financial investment, all the work, that was mine alone. I don't know if that matters legally, but it felt good to remember that I built something substantial before I became the useless burden she sees me as now. The other thing that has been eating at me is the situation with my brother Michael. A lot of you told me to swallow my pride and call him. You are right. Michael is one of the top family law attorneys in Chicago. Before our fight, we were close. He was the one who taught me how to use tools when Dad left. He is the one who helped me through college when Mom got sick. But 3 years ago, when I told him I was going to propose to Amanda, he took me aside and said, "David, I have watched her with you. She likes what you provide, not who you are. She is calculating, cold. If something ever happens to your earning potential, she will be gone before your hospital bed gets cold." I was so in love, so sure he was wrong about her, that I told him he was jealous of my happiness and didn't know Amanda like I did. We screamed at each other in his kitchen until I stormed out. Last words I said to him were, "Maybe when you find someone who actually wants to be with you instead of just your bank account, you will understand what real love looks like." Michael is 38 and single, dedicated to his career. That comment was designed to hurt, and it did. He never called after that, and neither did I. Now, sitting here with divorce papers demanding half of everything I built, I keep hearing his voice. If something ever happens to your earning potential, she will be gone. He was right about everything. The accident happened. My earning potential disappeared, and Amanda started looking for the exit ramp. The only thing she is waiting for is to cash out her share of the house I built. The other part of me remembers the pain in his eyes when I attacked him for being alone, and I don't know if he'd even take my call. But for Emma, maybe I need to try. She deserves a father who fights for her, even if it means admitting I was wrong about everything. The hearing is Wednesday. If I am going to make this call, it needs to be soon. Edit. To those asking about evidence of Amanda's affair with Christopher Walsh, I have photos of them together at restaurants, hotel receipts I found in her purse, and text messages I saw before she started being more careful with her phone. But I haven't figured out how to use any of it legally yet. Edit 2. Someone asked about the construction timeline and costs. I have all the receipts, permits, inspection records, everything. Total cost was $340,000 for materials and subcontractors over 18 months. I did most of the work myself on weekends and evenings, which saved probably another $200,000 in labor costs. Conservative estimate is the house is worth $750,000 now. Update 2. I cannot believe I am writing this. Wednesday was supposed to be the day I lost everything. Instead, it was the day I learned what having family really means. Monday night, I finally worked up the courage to call Michael. My hands were shaking as I dialed his number, not knowing if he had hung up on me, or if his number had even stayed the same after 3 years. David. His voice was cautious, surprised. Yeah, it is me. I took a deep breath, Michael. I need to tell you something, and I need to say it before I lose my nerve. You were right about Amanda. You were right about everything, and I was a complete asshole for the things I said to you. I am sorry. Long pause. Then, what has happened? I told him everything. The accident, Amanda's transformation, the divorce papers, Emma being coached to testify against me, the connection to Christopher Walsh. By the time I finished, I was crying, and I don't think I had cried since the day I woke up in the hospital and realized my legs might never work right again. Jesus, David, I am so sorry. I never wanted to be right about this. I know. Michael, I hate asking, but I don't know what to do. They want half the house I built, and I cannot afford a lawyer who can fight someone like James Morrison. Emma's hearing is Wednesday, and I will be there. What? I am flying out tomorrow morning. Morrison's good, but he has never faced the Iron Fist of Chicago in his own backyard. I started laughing through my tears. Iron Fist of Chicago is what the legal blogs call Michael. He has never lost a family law case in 15 years of practice. You are my little brother. You were there when Mom died. You were there when I passed the bar exam. You think I am going to let some gold digger steal your daughter and the house you built with your own hands? Besides, I have been looking for an excuse to destroy Morrison's reputation for years. Tuesday he flew in from Chicago. When I opened the door and saw him standing there with his suit bag and briefcase, I almost collapsed. He looked the same as always. Sharp suit, confident smile, but older around the eyes. He hugged me carefully, mindful of my crutches. You look like hell. Little brother, feel worse. Michael, there is something else. Emma told me herself. Amanda said if she doesn't tell the judge I am inadequate, they will not have anywhere nice to live. That stops today. Where is Emma now? School. Amanda picks her up at 3. Not today, she doesn't. I am getting an emergency motion to prevent any unsupervised contact between Amanda and Emma until after the hearing. Coaching a minor child to give false testimony is a felony. That afternoon, Michael served Amanda with papers at her office. I wasn't there. But Emma told me later that when Mommy came home, she was crying and throwing things. I was nervous as hell, but Michael was calm, professional, carrying a thick folder of documents I didn't even know he had prepared. Amanda was there with Morrison, looking confident and put together in a way I hadn't seen since before my accident. She barely glanced at me, but I saw her do a double take when she saw Michael. Morrison leaned over and whispered something to her. Her face went pale. All rise for the Honorable Judge Patricia Williams. Judge Williams is known for not tolerating nonsense in her courtroom. Michael had briefed me on her reputation. Fair, thorough, and absolutely brutal to anyone who wastes her time. Morrison went first, laying out Amanda's case. Temporary custody and support, based on my disability making me unable to properly care for Emma, and Amanda's financial need while the divorce proceeds. Your Honor, Mr. Thompson's disability has rendered him unable to maintain employment or provide adequate supervision for their 8-year-old daughter. Mrs. Thompson has been the primary caregiver throughout his recovery and deserves temporary support to maintain stability for the child. Pretty standard stuff. Then he called Amanda to testify. She walked to the witness stand, looking like the perfect, devoted wife who had been abandoned by circumstances beyond her control. Her testimony was smooth, practiced, how hard it had been caring for me, how she had sacrificed her career. I love David, she said, managing to sound sad instead of bitter. But Emma's welfare has to come first. David cannot run after her if she is in danger. He cannot drive her to activities. He needs help with basic daily tasks. It is not fair to ask an 8-year-old to take care of her disabled father. Morrison asked about her relationship with Christopher Walsh. She admitted they were friends, maybe something more developing, but insisted it started after she realized her marriage was over. My relationship with Christopher has nothing to do with this hearing. David and I grew apart after his accident changed everything about our lives. Sometimes people need different things. When Morrison finished, Judge Williams turned to our table. Mr. Thompson, do you have representation? Michael stood up. Michael Thompson appearing for petitioner. David Thompson, Your Honor. The change in the room was immediate. Morrison's confident expression faltered. Amanda's eyes went wide. Even the court reporter looked up from her machine. Michael Thompson, the Chicago attorney? Yes, Your Honor. I see. Proceed. Michael's opening was quiet, measured, but I could feel the power in it. Your Honor, what we have here is not a case about disability affecting parenting capacity. What we have is a case about greed, adultery, and a woman who has decided her disabled husband is no longer useful to her. He called me to testify first. I was scared, but Michael had prepared me well. I told the judge about building the house, about my accident, about Amanda's transformation afterward, about her calling me a useless burden in front of Emma. Mr. Thompson, do you believe you can adequately care for your daughter despite your disability? Your Honor, I may need crutches to walk, but my hands work fine. My brain works fine. My heart works fine. I help Emma with homework every night. I make her breakfast every morning. I read her bedtime stories and help her practice piano. Amanda wants Emma to believe I am helpless. But Emma knows better. She sees me as her father who loves her, not as a disability. Then Michael started presenting evidence. First, the financial documents showing I had owned the land and built the house before marriage, adding Amanda to the deed only after our wedding as a gift. Your Honor, Mrs. Thompson is asking for half of an asset she had no role in creating or financing. Then came the photographs of Amanda and Christopher Walsh, hotel records, text messages Michael had somehow obtained legally. Your Honor, Mrs. Thompson claims her relationship with Mr. Walsh began after realizing her marriage was over. These text messages show they were discussing her husband's usefulness and the value of his property 3 weeks after his accident, while he was still in physical therapy. Amanda's face went white. Morrison was frantically whispering to her, but the damage was done. Then Michael did something I will never forget as long as I live. Your Honor, I would like to call Emma Thompson to chambers. Objection. I believe Emma has the right to have her voice heard without her mother's influence. Judge Williams agreed to speak with Emma privately. Emma was scared, but she held my hand as we walked to the judge's chambers. Emma, Judge Williams said gently, I just want to ask you a few questions about your mom and dad. There is no wrong answer. Okay. Just tell me what you really think. Okay. Do you feel safe living with your daddy? Yes. Daddy takes good care of me. He makes me breakfast and helps with math homework. He cannot run fast, but he doesn't need to. I am not a baby. Has anyone asked you to say anything special about your daddy? Emma looked at Amanda, then back at the judge. Mommy said I have to tell everyone that Daddy cannot take care of me because of his hurt legs. But that is not true. Daddy takes care of me every day. I don't want to lie about Daddy. What would you like to happen, Emma? I want to live with Daddy in our house. I want Mommy to stop being mean to him. I want us to be a family again. But if we cannot, I want to stay with Daddy." When we came back into the courtroom, Judge Williams looked like she had made her decision. "I have heard enough. Temporary custody goes to the father, David Thompson. Mrs. Thompson, you will have supervised visitation pending a full custody evaluation. As for temporary support, given the evidence of adultery and the circumstances of this property, I am denying your request for spousal support." Amanda started crying, but they weren't sad tears, they were furious tears. Furthermore, Judge Williams continued, "I am referring the matter of coaching a minor child to give false testimony to the district attorney's office for investigation." Morrison tried to object, but it was too late. Michael and I walked out of that courthouse with Emma between us, her little hand in mine, and for the first time in 18 months, I felt like I could breathe again. "Uncle Mike," Emma said as we got to the car, "are you going to stay and help Daddy?" Michael knelt down to her level. "I am going to make sure your daddy has the best lawyer possible. And Emma, your daddy is one of the strongest, bravest men I know. Don't let anyone tell you different." That night, after Emma was asleep, Michael and I sat on the back porch of the house I built, drinking beer and talking, like we hadn't in 3 years. "I am sorry," I said again. "Not just about Amanda, about what I said about you being alone. That was cruel and unfair. You were protecting someone you loved. I get it. But David, promise me something. Don't ever let anyone make you feel like less of a man because of what happened to your legs. You built this house. You are raising that little girl. You survived something that would have broken most people. Amanda calling you useless says everything about her and nothing about you. The divorce will take months to finalize, but the temporary orders give me everything that matters, my daughter and time to fight for the house I built." Emma starts counseling next week to help her process everything that has happened. Michael is staying through the weekend before flying back to Chicago, but he will be handling my case remotely. Amanda, she moved in with Christopher Walsh on Thursday. Apparently true love moves pretty fast when you are not getting the house you wanted. Final update 6 months later, and I am finally ready to close the book on this chapter of my life. I kept the house. All of it. Judge Williams ruled that since I owned the property and built the house before marriage, adding Amanda to the deed afterward was a marital gift that could be revoked due to her adultery. I pay no alimony. Emma lives with me full-time. Amanda gets supervised visitation every other weekend, though she has only shown up half the time. Hard to play devoted mother when you are busy planning your new life with Christopher Walsh. 3 weeks after their relationship became public, he made another offer to buy my land. When that failed, they tried going to the city planning board to get my property rezoned residential only, which would have killed my property values. Michael shut that down with a few phone calls to some old law school friends who work in city government. Apparently my brother has more connections in Boston than I realized. The most satisfying moment came 2 months ago when I was at Emma's school pickup and saw Amanda's car break down in the parking lot. Her new BMW, Christopher's gift to her, dead battery. She was standing there in heels and a designer dress, looking helpless. Old David might have limped over to help. New David kept walking, Emma noticed. "Daddy, isn't that Mommy's car?" "Yep. Are we going to help her, Emma?" "What did I teach you about helping people? Help people who would help you back. And what did Mommy do when Daddy needed help?" Emma thought for a moment. "She called you useless and tried to take our house. So what do you think we should do? Keep walking." Smart kid, gets that from me, not her mother. The big change is that Michael and I are closer now than we have ever been. He flies out every few months, and Emma adores her Uncle Mike. He is teaching her chess and helping her with advanced math. She is sharp as a tack and wants to be an engineer like her dad. My physical situation has improved too. I am walking longer distances with just one crutch now, and I have started doing consulting work for other contractors. Turns out there is good money in helping people design accessible homes and modifications. My accident gave me expertise in something I never expected to need. Last month, I got a call from a veteran who lost his leg in Afghanistan, redesigning his kitchen so he could cook for his family again. When I finished the job and saw him making breakfast for his kids, I realized Amanda was wrong about one thing. My accident didn't make me useless. It made me useful in a completely different way. Emma and I are happy. She is doing great in school. She has friends. She has learned that her daddy being different doesn't make him less capable of loving her or taking care of her. Every night when I tuck her in, she hugs me and says, "I love you, Daddy." And I remember that being loved by the right person is worth more than being wanted by the wrong one. As for Amanda, last I heard she and Christopher Walsh broke up. Apparently he decided he didn't need her anymore, once it became clear I wasn't selling my land. Funny how that works. She has been trying to reach out recently, claiming she made mistakes and wants to work on our family. But I remember what she said to me in that kitchen 18 months ago. "You are nothing but a useless burden now, David." She was wrong then, and she is wrong now if she thinks I would take her back. I am not the same man I was before my accident. I am not the same man I was when she left. I am stronger now, smarter about people, more grateful for what matters. Emma and I are building our own future in the house I built with my own hands. Michael visits regularly. I have work I am passionate about. I have a daughter who thinks I am a hero even though I need crutches to walk. Turns out being called useless by someone who was never worthy of me in the first place was exactly what I needed to discover my real worth. Sometimes the worst thing someone can say to you becomes the thing that sets you free.